That one elevates for ball 2. 2-0 now the count. Eight hits on the day now for Wasatch. 7 runs in. Have 2 more in scoring position. And again, all of this happening with 2 outs. Cottonwood got the first 2 guys out in the inning, and then Wasatch has gone 5 straight hits and a walk, and then that wild pitch.
Did you, maybe you jinxed Royal here, Tyler. You talked about he hasn't had a lot of RBI opportunities, and
they're going to purposely put him on base.
One pitch in the dirt, and guy scores, it opens it up, and he still doesn't get an opportunity to hit any guys that didn't get a single pitch he could handle there with the bases loaded.
It's going to bring up Braxton Fowler, actually led off the inning with a ground out to the third baseman. So bases loaded. You have Salmon on third, Brown at second, and Matthews at first. They're going to leave Summers in, try to get out of this inning. Wasatch 0 in the first inning, 3 in the second, and now have scored 4 runs here in the third. Very similar to what we saw yesterday in Ogden. Wasatch didn't score in the top half of the first and then put up crooked numbers the rest of the way. That one misses inside for ball 1.
Starting to feel more like baseball weather, isn't it?
Especially,
hot day down here in Salt Lake Valley.
Trying to keep our equipment cool in the sun. That pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 now the count.
Yeah, those are some broadcasting struggles in Utah, right? Down in St. George, it was so cold the batteries were dying before the game was over. Now, just a week and a half later, it's too hot. It'll overheat, and then the equipment won't work.
The 1-1, that one misses for 2 balls and 1 strike. That looked pretty good, maybe off the plate. We're calling this game from the side, not able to see where that's inside or outside. Did he call a strike on that one, Ty? I thought
they did get a strike on the board, Ty.
That one in there for a strike. So 2-2 now the count. That last one wasn't called strike. So 2-2 now the count with 2 outs. Deuces. Summers trying to still get out of this inning again. 4 runs in for Wasatch with 2 outs. That one bounces well in front of the plate. Good job here from the catcher. Keeps it in front of him, and that'll fill up the count at 3-2. Runners will get a head start with a full count and 2 outs.
I like this opportunity here for Braxton, Tyler. Good fastball count. Look for something over the plate that you can handle. See if you can find a gap and score all 3.
Summers will keep working out of the stretch. Come set. Runners will go on the delivery. And it's swung on and is going to be elevated to left field. Left fielder will come up and make the play for out number 3. But Wasatch does their damage. 4 runs come in on 5 hits, no errors. They do leave the bases loaded. And Wasatch takes a 7-1 lead going into the bottom of the third.
Timberline Ace Hardware is committed to helping their neighbors and their communities, and because they're in the neighborhood, they can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Stihl, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in store, curbside, or they'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock with people that know how to help. Timberline Ace Hardware, serving the community for over 50 years.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
You'll always find the best deals and expert service at your local Napa Auto Parts store. We offer expert service in helping you find the parts you're looking for your current project, as well as Milwaukee tools. We can also help you with most motorsport, RV, and vehicle battery needs at your local Napa Auto Parts store in Heber City.
Teens report that parents are the #1 influence in their children's lives about decisions to not use alcohol, marijuana, or vape.
Take a few minutes every day to talk to us about things we like to do. Ask about our hopes and dreams, concerns, and fears. This is a time when we need our parents' help the most.
If we feel close to you, we are much more likely to listen. We need you to remind us to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch High School.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Bottom of the third inning here at Cottonwood High School, brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health, a comprehensive community mental health center offering a wide array of programs and services for all individuals in Wasatch County. Top of the order up for the Cottonwood Colts, and it's going to be a three-pitch strikeout to start off the bottom half of the third. Second strikeout of the day, again brought to you by Gravity Coalition. Wasatch leading 7-1 here in the bottom of the third.
Revenge of Braxton here for the top of the lineup. They kind of jumped on him early on. Tyler, a couple quick hits to get the game going. See if Braxton can get him back on this time around. That's a good start.
Ty, Coach McCoy just shared a stat with you in between innings.
Yeah, it's a pretty
good.
The last 2 days, Tyler, and really that's even generous because we're only the third inning here. So you're talking about the last 8 innings of baseball. Wasatch has scored 17 runs with 2 outs.
So they've scored 26 runs, and 17 of those 26 have come with 2 outs.
That's an amazing number.
1-0 here to the number 2 hitter. He's going to swing at the pitch, and that's going to be hit number 2 on the day for Weaver, the junior. That one's going to go through the 5-6 hole into left field for the 5th hit of the day. Cottonwood now with base runners in each of the first 3 innings. It's going to bring up the number 3 hitter who flew out to center field on a decent barrel in his first at-bat, says the senior Stonebreaker. That went in there for a strike to start off the at-bat. That leads to a lot of what-if conversations as a coaching staff, right? Like, hey, if we would have caught a pop fly here, if we would have caught a pop fly here, we win that game.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Not
can
yesterday,
have a lot of
but
moral
today,
victories.
Like Cottonwood could have gone out of these last 2 innings with a couple of just easy pop fly catches. That one misses inside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Cottonwood coach putting down some signs now with 1-1. Nice pitch there from Fowler. In there for strike 2. 1-2 now the count.
Braxton's kind of settling into a good little rhythm, Tyler. You mentioned it last inning. A little more zip. And it looks different when he gets into the rhythm. Crisp, clean. Just it looks good coming out of the hand.
1-2. That one misses badly. He could have taken second base, but Weaver stays at second. 2-2 now the count. Good job there from Sweat. Kind of backstabbed that one to keep it in front of him. Weaver takes another half step with the 2-2 count and 1 away. Fowler takes a second look, delivers. That one misses as well. Fills up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It looked like he might have dropped the elbow just a little bit on that one, Tyler, coming through. Kind of messed with the release point. And that's something you want to watch. You don't want him to get elbow issues that flare up if you're not staying consistent in the slot where you're releasing it.
Payoff pitch is below the knees for strike 3. Nice pitch there. That is strikeout number 3 from Gravity Coalition for Braxton Fowler, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter who grounded into a 1-4-3 double play in his first at-bat. The catcher for Cottonwood.
We've talked a little bit, Tyler. I mean, that's about as pretty as baseball gets when you get a pitcher hitting the bottom part of the zone, popping the glove like that. It's just such good execution that you saw from Braxton on that pitch.
Another good pickoff move, but Weaver able to get back easily at first base. (7-1) lead here in the bottom half of the third for Wasatch. That one misses just inside for ball 1. Braxton wanted that one.
I like that pitch a lot, Tyler. I want my pitchers to get on the inside part of the plate. If you can get a guy being brushed back with a fastball and not hit him anytime, that's a decent pitch. Don't get guys comfortable in there in the box.
2-0 now the count. That one misses in the dirt for ball 2. Same lead from Weaver over at first base. 2-0. Fake run, and it's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Fields it cleanly, fires it across the diamond for out number 3. First play of the season for Odin. Could have gone the easy way, Ty, but hey, threw off the gun and gets the guy out.
Well, Tyler, it looked good.
No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner is left on base. Still 7-1 as we move into the 4th.
A UCCU home equity line of credit puts your home's equity to work for you. Finish your basement or yard and raise your home's value. Pay off higher interest, help with college or weddings. It's peace of mind knowing that you have a low-rate line of credit ready for whatever, whenever. UCCU will also provide you with a home equity Visa card, giving you instant access to your equity. Learn more or start your application today at uccu.com or stop by any branch. UCCU. Love where you bank.
We at Guild Mortgage help people build personal wealth through real estate, be it your first home, next home, dream home, or investment property. At Guild Mortgage, we help you refinance for that lower interest rate, shorter term, or home remodel. At Guild Mortgage, we help you plan for retirement by owning multiple investment properties and can even add to your retirement plan with a reverse mortgage. We at Guild Mortgage believe everyone can own what matters.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Top of the fourth, brought to you by Mountain West Trailers. Know you value strength and reliability. Our trailers are built to last. Visit them at mountainwesttrailer.com. It's going to be Baxter, Bluth, Pinter to lead it off here in the top half of the fourth inning. Wasatch already leading 7-1. All 7 runs coming with 2 outs. 17 runs over the last 2 days, all coming with 2 outs. Wasatch has scored 26 runs in 2 games, and then really it's 8 innings, right, Ty? They played 5 yesterday, 3 today, 26 runs in 8 innings, and 17 of them coming with 2 outs.
Ty, it's how it felt finishing off St. George as well, right? The first game they lost 1-0, 7 innings, and then the last game they won 22-2, I think, in that game. Tyler, did Richfield even get to 2?
I think they did.
22-2. And that was playing 4 innings, right? They shut that one down after 4 innings of play. And it really, since that first game in St. George, this team has just been swinging it and putting a lot of runs on the board. Now, if you want to be coach speak for a second, Tyler, you can't get too overly excited about that because the competition needs to get better, right? They haven't played the most competitive competition over that stretch, but they're doing what you want to have a good team do against that type of competition.
Baxter will come up. He's 0 for 2 today, grounded out to the first baseman and struck out in his bat. Summers will stay on the mound for Cottonwood. Of the 7 runs that are on the scoreboard, Ty, 6 have come in the 6, 7, 8, 9 spots for Wasatch. So the bottom of the lineup really coming through for Wasatch. Off-speed pitches in there for a strike. Cruz spits on it, 1-1 to count.
Spits on it, but he was tracking that well, Tyler. Saw that all the way back to the catcher's glove. Wouldn't throw that 2 times here to Crew.
1-1 does go back to it and gets the outside corner again. That'll move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Changed it outside, gave him a little bit of a different look.
The 1-2. Tried to throw it 3 straight times, that time in the dirt. Doesn't get Baxter to chase. So that'll move the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff guy here in the 4th.
Yeah, it was 3 straight times, but 3 different locations, right? The first one started middle in, breaking to the ankles. Second one outside, coming back over the black. And then that last one starting low, trying to finish in the dirt.
2-2. Nearly takes off Blue's head. That was aiming for you, Ty. I was right there. That was like Black Mamba. You didn't even move. Like that was Kobe Bryant action there.
Well, nobody put a camera on me because I did have a little flinch, Tyler. I like that your confidence there was I didn't move, but it was a heater coming at us over here.
2-2 the count after the foul ball. Summers back into the windup and delivers. Goes back with the fastball. Gets it by him for strikeout number 4 on the day for Summers. Still has a little bit of pop in that fastball here in the 4th.
Yeah, good little zip there to finish that one off, Tyler. And you don't have to have great zip if you've changed speeds enough, right? He went heavy with the curveballs, changing locations, got Cruz second-guessing maybe a little bit what pitch was coming. And then when you have someone just kind of second-guessing, thinking maybe there's another breaking ball, you can sneak a fastball by him.
He's going to bring up Eddie Bluth. He's 1 for 1 today. He's walked and singled in his last at-bat, has scored twice. Again, came in hitting .500, now up above .500 on the season. He'll take ball 1.
Well, this is the part of the lineup. Let's get it going again, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, and start circling the bases if you're Wasatch.
That one misses low as well. 2-0 now the count to Bluth. Love the approach from Eddie Ty, just on his toes every pitch, right? Just looking for that swing every single pitch, wants to attack. yes, yes, yes mentality. The 2-0 swings on that one. He's right on that one, and that one's going to hit the gap. Pick him up, put him down, Eddie Bluth. He'll round first, and he's headed to second. Left fielder just barely getting to the ball now, and it'll be a stand-up easy double there for Eddie Bluth, who's now that's his first extra base hit on the season, and he's 2 for 2 today.
That was really good from Eddie, Tyler. I mean, he saw where that ball was going. His eyes were right down there, locked in onto the barrel as he saw that thing through the zone and just drove that thing the other way. And that's pretty baseball. 2-0, not getting too big, not overly swinging, just seeing the pitch for what it is and driving the ball the other way.
Bring up Sam Pinter, who flew out to center field but then singled to center field and scored in his last at bat. His first fly out, a good one, drove the center fielder back to the warning track. Summer comes set, delivers, off-speed pitch. Sam looked like he liked it, holds back for ball 1.
Yeah, he's licking his chops up there, Tyler. You talk about a yes, yes, yes mentality. And his back foot, when you looked at that, he was nearly coming out of his shoes ready for that thing to get there.
The 1-0. Summers takes a peek at Bluth, takes a second peek. Now will deliver. And that one's in there for a strike. 1-1 now the count. One ball, one strike. Wasatch with the runner on second base, already leading 7-1. No look delivery this time. Bluth's going to go. That ball's in the dirt. An easy stand-up stolen base there for Bluth. And Wasatch 90 feet away from scoring once again here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and you know, Tyler, coming in between innings, could hear the dugout talking, coaches talking. They want more than one. They want to push this up to a double-digit lead. Tyler, try to get this up at least 10 runs heading into the 5th inning and see if they can't have another game finished early.
Haven't played a lot of 7-inning games. In fact, only one so far this season.
One, Tyler. This would make 5 straight games that have been run-ruled.
That one misses outside, moves the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Infield's going to come in for Cottonwood, trying to keep Bluth at first base. The 3-1. This goes upstairs. It's going to be a high chopper, and that's when you bring the infield in tight, create a lot of holes, and that's what happened there. That'll be a single, second hit of the day for Pinter, and it is his first RBI on the season.
Yeah, it's good team baseball, Tyler. You're right. That ball doesn't have any business being a hit in a straight-up defense. That's going to be an easy out for the second baseman. So Sam, when he comes in, he can maybe buy, Eddie Bluth a little snack, a little candy bar, Tyler, because he doesn't get that base hit without Bluth getting a double, stealing third, and bringing that infield in. Otherwise, Sam's heading back to the dugout with no hit, but ball finds grass, and now we're in business.
And that's why you just put the ball in play, right, with the guy on third with nobody out, or we're less than 2 outs, just put the ball in play. Sweat's going to swing at the first pitch, fouls it straight back to the backstop. Wasatch scored now in 3 of the 4 innings.
It's why the little details matter with championship teams, Tyler. Things like even coaches, and coaches know this, calling certain bunts in certain scenarios, Tyler, even if it's not necessarily executed or it's a fake and take, it moves defenses. It manipulates situation. Ooh, Otis get hit?
It sounded like it hit him.
Got behind him.
Went behind him, must have hit the batter or the catcher's glove is what we heard. 1-1 now the count.
Yeah, and there's so much more to baseball, though, Tyler, than just what it looks like sometimes. Moving defenses around, getting a ball on the ground when there's a runner on third, sac flies, push bunts, drag bunts, all the different things that you can do there can really manipulate games.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pinter did advance to second base on the wild pitch. Summer shakes off the catcher, now comes back set. No look delivery. Swung on, and that's going to get down straight out the center field. Pinter's going to try to score from second base. He'll score easily. Otis Sweat with a guy in scoring position. Guess what? Got a hit and an RBI. He's now got 2 RBIs on the day, 14 RBIs on the season, and tying his last 7 at-bats, he is 6 of 7 with 7 RBIs.
Yeah, if he can keep swinging it like that, Tyler, look out. Guy at the bottom of the lineup who's a really solid catcher behind the dish, great energy. And if he's going to be driving in all these runners in front of him, Wasatch is going to be a tough team to stop.
That's going to do it for Summers. We'll have a pitching change. We'll go ahead and take a break. Wasatch leading 9-1 here in the top of the 4th.
Are you ready for lunch? Well, the Dairy King home of the train is serving the best food with friends and family in the Valley and have been the winner of Best of State for 20 years. They've recently been named the best of Utah for their milkshakes. You've got to try their delicious train burger with an Oreo shake. They also have those yummy salads that just hit the spot or a turkey breast sandwich that tickles the taste buds. They've proudly been serving the Heber Valley for 78 years at the Dairy King home of the train, serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Unlock your potential at Bonnie Joseph Academy, your local beauty school. Explore the art of cosmetology, barbering, hair design, basic aesthetics, master aesthetics, and nail tech programs. Visit bonniejosephacademy.edu to learn more and enroll today. Financial aid is available for qualifying students, and we offer flexible schedules and distant education options. Transform your passion into a rewarding career at Bonnie Joseph Academy, where beauty meets expertise. Bonnie Joseph Academy, Heber City.
Hungry for mouth-watering, all-American comfort food? Look no further. Chubby's has just opened in Heber Valley, bringing you award-winning burgers and cheesesteaks made from 100% premium black Angus beef. With 9 Utah locations, our family-owned and operated restaurant knows how to satisfy your cravings. And don't forget to treat yourself to our delicious desserts. Come taste the difference today at Chubby's, located at 220 North Main Street. Chubby's Cafe, your neighborhood destination for the food you crave.
Here at Country Gardens and Nursery, we hope that you feel that you are home when you are away from home as you go around our perennial floor checking out the newest and latest for beauty for your garden, as you wander into our indoor plant shop seeing the possibility of what could be yours. Stop by Country Gardens and Nursery, your home away from home. 1401 US 189, Heber City, Utah. And don't forget to check us out on social media for quick tips and tricks throughout the season.
Big O Tires in Heber is your one-stop shop for tires and service. What was once Point S is now Big O Tires. Same service, but different name. We're locally owned and operated and want to help you get your vehicle ready to road trip this summer. Stop in for all your name brand tires, oil changes, alignments, brakes, batteries, shocks, struts, and a whole lot more. Plus, Big O Tires offers financing options to fit any budget or any situation. Visit us today. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Check out the Fit Stop Health Club. It's more than a great facility. Their employees and staff create a comfortable, caring, supportive place for men and women of all ages, as well as their families, to work out. They have your tanning beds, therapy pool with endless laps. They have Group X classes with nationally certified and specially trained instructors. See what the Fit Stop offers. Go to their website at fitstophealthclub.com. For more information, call 654-2131.
Pitching change is going to bring Wayman on the mound for the Cottonwood Colts. Pitcher Summers is going to go back behind the dish, and then the current catcher, Ramus, is going to move to third base, and that'll bring up Max Livingston. Wasatch again leading 9-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Pitching change brought to you by Heber Appliance. When you're down to your final out and your fridge goes out, turn your letdown into a touchdown at Heber Appliance Furniture and Mattress. Ty, we're in that mode right now. Fridge is no more.
They'll take care of you.
Oh, Ty, they got a 40% off right now on all GE appliances. They got some good deals. Max is going to swing at the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be all the way over. And, lands in the dugout.
Oh, someone's got to come down with that ball in the dugout, Ty, right? Go get that thing. Did you see that viral clip that went on social media of the Oregon bullpen catcher?
No.
Happy Gilmore?
No.
Oh, Ty. So any listeners that are seeing this, you got to look it up. It's incredible. So the Happy Gilmore movie, when he jumps in the batting cage, only 364 more days till hockey tryouts, so he's taking baseballs. Guy does it. The bullpen's over the right field fence. Guy on his team hits a bomb, and the catcher gets away.
That pitch is going to be a pickoff move, and they're going to be able to advance from first to third on this one. Showing off the speed is Jackson Camaromi. The pickoff move will get Wasatch in another scoring position. 2-1 the count here to Livingston and a runner on third.
Anyway, on this bomb, Tyler, on the fly, this kid stands up, kind of goes Superman, puts out his chest, puts his arms out, and takes the ball right off the chest on the fly. Just looking like Happy Gilmore out there. It's a fantastic video. If you're a baseball fan and a golf Happy Gilmore fan, you'll really enjoy the video.
That's got to be one of the better YouTube searches is crazy college baseball clips, right? There's just tons of stuff out there. If there's a group of athletes that knows how to have fun, it's college baseball players, right? Especially the guys on the bench that are just bored out of their minds. They figure out ways.
Bullpen guys in college
they figure
baseball.
out ways to get it done.
Got a group of guys who's getting school paid for, now getting NIL money, nothing else to do with their time other than play baseball and hang out at the field. You're right. They probably a little too much fun sometimes.
Full count here to Livingston as he fouls off the 3-1 pitch. Runner on third, run infield in once again for Cottonwood, trailing 9-1, and that one's at the belt for strike 3.
Yeah, Ty, some umpires aren't going to call that one, but I think that's a good lesson to learn if you're Max, is 2 strikes on you. New pitcher, kind of new zone, if you will, from the umpire, and a little too close to take probably in that situation. I think there's half the games, though, Tyler, that's probably not a strike over the course of the year.
So we have Salmon 2 for 3 today with runs scored and 2 RBIs. Now has 13 RBIs on the year. Wasatch now again with 9 runs in and 8 runs coming in that 6, 7, 8, and 9 spot.
I'd love to talk to some of these guys that recently graduated, Tyler, like a Cole Zimmerman, Jack Bluth, Jackson Bollinger, these guys, Chet Wilson, that went down to college to play. The thing is, a lot of those guys were position players, and so they're in, right? Yeah. But if you get a pitcher who's, Jackson Bollinger there, what are the shenanigans that these guys are coming up with nowadays?
I think the good ones are like the rain delays, when you have like a 45-minute rain delay and you're just sitting in the dugout. You can't really do anything, and some of the stuff that comes up from those ones. 2-0 the count here to Jack Salmon.
See, that ball's not too different than the one that just got called on Max, Tyler. Yeah, I think it is up a little bit more, but that one looked all right. We had a chance to have a conversation with what you and I believe is definitely a top 3 all-time best player in Wasatch history, in Ryan Chadwick, who graduated 20 years ago from Wasatch, 4-year starter at UVU, and he was a bullpen guy all 4 years. And he said at UVU, Ty, the coaches wouldn't let him go down to the bullpen because they were having too much fun. They had to stay in the dugout during the game until it was time to go get loose because those guys just had too much fun down there in the bullpen.
3-0, 4 straight pitches will earn a walk. That's walk number 6 on the day from the Cottonwood staff, and that'll bring up Austin Brown. This is 4th time through the lineup here, Ty, for Wasatch here in the top half of the 4th. Comes up with runners on the corners, 2 away. This is usually when Wasatch goes to work, ties with 2 outs. Already with 2 runs in the inning.
Yep.
Both Eddie Bluth and Sam Pinter. Eddie Bluth tied 2 for 2, a double, and 3 runs scored for Wasatch so far today.
Yeah, if you're joining us late, Wasatch over the last 2 days, Tyler, 8+ innings. If you combine the 2 games, 17 runs scored with 2 outs in the game. Trying to add to that list.
That pitch in there for a ball. That looked pretty good. The catcher thought it was a strike, too. Stood up to call back and turned around and asked the umpire where it was. 1-0 the count now. Pretty big lead from Salmon. They're going to try to pick him off. A little bit slower throw that time. I remember earlier in the inning, threw it away, and the Wasatch was able to advance Jackson over to third. Good heads-up IQ there from Salmon. Takes the big lead, knowing. A little bit hesitant to throw over there. The 1-0. That one misses outside for 2-0.
Yeah, Austin's not been able to get many pitches to handle here, Tyler, between his last 2 at-bats. Did get to 2-0 and had a strike in his previous at-bat. But 6 out of the last 7 pitches, not really near the zone.
The 2-0. And yes mentality, but that one's high, and that'll move the count to 3-0. Brown 1 for 2 today, had an RBI single in his second at bat, grounded out in his first and walked in his third.
Austin's most impressive home run of the year, Tyler, that he has so far down there at Pineview was a 3-0 pitch that he turned loose. See if he can get one to handle here.
Salmon's going to go on the 3-0. That one's in there for a strike, but the throw to second is not going to be attempted. So Salmon will be able to swipe the bag, and that'll put runners on second and third with 2 outs and a 3-1 count, as that pitch was in there for a strike. Brown opting to be patient, get 2 runners in scoring position. Into the windup is going to go Wayman. Ooh, barely misses that one. That'll move the count to full, 3-2.
Big swing. Big swing, Tyler.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes.
March Madness. I think Utah State just got the dagger.
Oh.
Went up 10 with a dunk with a minute left.
Utah State up 10?
Yeah, Aggies
how about that?
They're going to advance. Winning culture, right? We talked about that earlier, right? Championship,
definition of Utah State.
This will be
basketball.
their 3rd time advancing in 25 years.
Payoff pitch is going to be roped to right field. That's going to get down. One run will come in, and it'll be a 2-out, 2 RBI single for Austin Brown. He now has 3 RBIs on the day, and Wasatch once again doing it with 2 outs.
Another good barrel.
12 hits, and that one is the key one, Ty. That puts Wasatch up 10. Still need to get through the 5th inning, but Wasatch leading now 11-1, and 2 more runs in with 2 outs. Brings up Royal, who has walked twice and struck out 0 for 1. Salmon's 2nd run of the day, and Jackson Camaromi coming in and scoring for the 2nd time. Speed up running for Otis Sweat. Pickoff move is not going to be in time. Brown able to get back. 1-0 count here to Matthews. Royal chases. Don't usually see that one off, and he was looking fastball, and Wayman went with the off speed. 1-1 now the count.
Yeah, that was a good pitch selection because Royal had predetermined, right? 1-0, runner on first base, 2 outs, probably going to be coming with a fastball there, and looked like that was what he was hunting, and it looked appealing out of the hand. Royal looked fooled.
Another pickoff move. Brown opting not to dive back that time and made it a little bit closer than it probably needed to be over at first base. Wayman comes set with the 1-1. The pitch. And that one just rung him up with 2 strikes there, Ty. He punched him out with, you get 3 strikes in this league. Not old men, softball here.
It's getting warm back there for the umpire, Ty.
Yeah,
We talked about it's hot here.
1-2 the count. Brown, a pretty good lead over at first base. Feet moving. The 1-2. Ball is in the dirt, and Brown will swipe the bag. That'll move the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuces on the scoreboard. So, do you think Aggies have a chance against Arizona?
No. Do you? Hey, you know what, Tyler? I guess stranger
knows?
things have happened in March Madness, right? But, there's usually a 1 seed that goes down sometime in the round of 32. Maybe the Aggies can have the Cinderella story.
The 2-2. And
too
Ruiz
good.
is going to ring him up on that one. That is going to be strikeout number 6 on the day for the Cottonwood staff, and Wasatch is retired. 4 runs come in on 4 hits, 1 error in the inning, and 1 runner is left on base. It's 11-1 as we go into the bottom half of the 4th.
Hi, this is Corbin Gordon from Gordon Law Group. I commonly get approached by people with the same question. Hey, do you guys do a particular type of law? The answer is almost always, yeah, we do that. We are the Valley's only full-service law firm that has been in business for over 20 years. We have 5 experienced attorneys who do estate work, litigation, business formation, real estate, water law, divorce, criminal defense, and many others. Gordon Law Group, yeah, we do that.
At Heber Park City Appliance, you're getting a dedicated team of professionals who go out of their way to keep your home running smoothly. And when we say team, we're talking about 40 years of winning service and reliability. We're here to boost your at-home satisfaction long after your purchase. So when it's 4th quarter and your fridge goes out, oh man, be confident knowing we're a team that will go the distance for you. Heber Park City Appliance in Heber City. Visit us online at heberappliance.com.
Hey, it's Nicole from Mountain Refined. I wanted to take a moment and invite you to visit our showroom. We are locally owned and operated with the largest selection in Wasatch County. In our showroom, you will find everything from bedding, home decor, gifts, jewelry, beautiful furnishings, and even flooring. We even have a large selection of protein powder. It won't take you long to find out what everyone's talking about. We can't wait to meet you. See you soon. We're located at 480 North Main Street in Heber City.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Bottom of the 4th brought to you by Utah Community Credit Union, UCCU. Love where you bank. Jazz got a win last night, Ty. Thinking Walker Kessler. Did you know he plays for the Jazz? He plays for the Jazz.
Not this year. He doesn't play for the Jazz.
He's
out injured.
He gets paid by the Jazz.
Got a
How about
paycheck.
that? And UCCU. He gets a paycheck from UCCU as well.
That was the Ace Bailey game, Ty.
Yeah, 7 threes last night.
7 3-point shots.
Swing and a miss as Tyson Dahl comes into the game to relief pitch for Braxton Fowler. Has an 11-1 cushion. So Wasatch leads by 10. Now it's an 0-2 count now to Summers, who's now catching. It's doubled over the center fielder's head in his first at bat. No balls, 2 strikes. Wind up the pitch. Misses high for ball 1. Fowler will move to shortstop after pitching 3 innings, 1 runs, gave up 5 hits, had 3 Ks, no walks. Pretty typical Braxton Fowler outing, Ty. No walks, 3 Ks, did give up 1. Probably would like to have a couple of those 0-2 hits back.
Yeah,
right.
Ty, he was good, and you need him to be good this year. He'll have to come in spots for you. I think Wasatch has enough pitching depth, but I think for you to go deep in the tournament, Braxton's going to need to be a part of the equation.
Well, there's a tip that goes into the catcher's glove for strike 3. That is the first K of the game for Tyson Dahl, and he'll have 1 out. Good job from Sweat of hanging on to that one. Gravity Coalition offering the best in bike, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. And it's the weather to start, Ty. Like, maybe not the snowboarding, but skateboards, whatever else they got out there for this type of weather. It's beautiful. Visit them at their store in Midway or at gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop.
The big one right now, right? You talk skateboards and longboards, but mountain biking is upon us, right? They've got great resources out there for you mountain bikers.
Wayman's going to come up. He is the new pitcher for Cottonwood. That one is going to be a ball. So ball 1, ball 2, missed high and then missed low. Moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Wayman also doubled in his last at bat and brought in a run. He's got the lone RBI, and that was his first RBI of the season. The 2-0, swing and a miss, strike 1, 2-1 now the count. Felt like BYU's loss last night, Ty, had the benefit of North Carolina blowing a 19-point lead, so that became kind of the story.
Forgot about BYU. Yeah, I feel a little robbed, Tyler, when you get to watch a really special player, right, at high school, college, or professional level. You don't want to see it come to an end, right? And it felt that way. I mean, DeBonsa, he's saying the right stuff. Well, I don't know. I'll make a decision 2 weeks. But he's out of here, right? That's his last game that he's ever going to play in BYU or at BYU and in college. I would be stunned if he's coming back. But I don't know. At this point, colleges can maybe write checks that compete with the NBA, Tyler.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch misses, and that'll be Wasatch's first walk of the game. And that'll bring up, let's see, pinch hitter number 24 coming up to the plate. This will be his first at-bat of the day. This is Mendenhall, sophomore, on the season. 0 for 4 in his 4 plate appearances.
How's your bracket holding up, Ty, with March Madness nearly through the first couple days?
Okay. Lost some, but they weren't big-time losses. I think
Final Four teams eliminated?
No. Did lose. I did have BYU beating Gonzaga, and so that was a Sweet 16 team. But had the TCU win, had the UCF win.
You liked the Big 12. You went with the Big 12
I picked a lot of Big 12 schools. The hardest Big 12 team to pick was BYU, and I shouldn't have.
You picked with your heart.
Iowa State did, I think, might have lost their second leading scorer today, Ty, and I had them in the Final Four. So I think they're going to be fine today, but a lot of injuries.
Got injured in the game this afternoon?
Yeah, landed
awkwardly.
That one misses. 2-1 now the count to Mendenhall.
Yeah, the injuries feel like it's kind of left this thing wide open this year as far as the tournament goes. See, Dyson can get a ground ball here. Tyson, pardon me.
Pitch is swung on, probably out of the zone. And that'll move the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Little bullpen action down there for Cottonwood. See if they make another change here heading into the 5th inning.
Wasatch getting leading 11-1. They're 4-1 on the season. Have winners of 4 straight after dropping their first. Have won 4 straight. That one not close. Sweat does a great job of smothering that thing. Player will go back to first base.
not just smothering it, Tyler, but quick on the ball. That ball got away from him a little bit. It rolled all the way outside of the dirt and about 5 and continuing feet into the grass. Otis was on that quickly. It's one thing to block it, Tyler, but a lot of times when catchers go down to block, the eyes are closed and you don't know exactly where the ball is rebounded. He was on that the whole way and jumped on it as soon as it got in front of him.
Payoff pitch misses, so after a strikeout, back-to-back walks, and Cottonwood now has runners on first and second. It'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Jensen, freshman for Cottonwood, popped out to the pitcher in his first at-bat. It's going to earn a trip to the mound from Otis, once again brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop. Talked a little bit about Heber Appliance. Ty had the bad news, had the Heber Appliance guy come out, and he was there checking everything in my fridge, hoping that it was a cheap fix, and it's not going to be a cheap fix. And so we got on the website this morning, was starting to shop around, and luckily you got all of March 40% off all GE products. And so I guess if there's a bad time or a good time to have your fridge go out, it's in March where you got the 40% discount on.
Yeah, that softens the blow a little bit, Tyler. Are you looking at those new fridges that are basically computers? I think they've got those there, don't they? The
they
smart
do.
Screen fridge TVs.
Yes, they do.
You can just go watch March Madness on your fridge while you're looking for a drink or some food in there.
Don't think we're going to look at that one. This is going to be a ground ball to Royal. Royal's going to field it, tag the runner, he'll touch the bag, try to go back door at second base. Not going to get the double play, but a nice play from Royal to get 1 out, and now there's 2 outs here in the inning.
Yeah, good job from Royal to secure the 1, right? You get to that 2. Now all it does is take 1, moving to the number 9 hitter. You got to take care of business here if you're Tyson. Can't let a cheap one stay up in the zone. Don't let a fastball get served out there. And good play out there from the middle infield. Fowler trying to keep that in front because that ball had problems written on it when it was released from Matthews. Tyler, it was low, going in the dirt. You have a runner coming at you. That thing could have easily sailed into left and allowed a run to come in.
Runners on second and third for the number 9 hitter, Craig. Grounded out to the first baseman in his first at-bat. Has 1 run scored on the inning and is hitting 133. Infield's going to come in with the outfield's going to come in. This one's going to be elevated over the first baseman's head. Oh, what a play from Royal Matthews! What a play! Royal goes back to his left, pulls it back in. What a play from Royal, and Wasatch gets out of the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We talked about the 1-4-3 double play early in the game as a potential Big O Tires play of the game. That right there from Royal Matthews might have been it. It's 11-1 as we move into the 5th.
Chad here from Mountain West Trailers. With over 20 years in business, we know you value strength and reliability. Whether it's for work or play, our dumping equipment trailers are built to last. Enclosed cargo trailers for business and fun, or open utility trailers for everything in between. With expert sales, parts, and repairs, we've got you covered. Haul it all, big or small, because Mountain West Trailers is always right behind you. Visit us at mountainwesttrailer.com or stop by at 1470 South Highway 40 here in Heber City, Utah.
Hey there, Heber City. Are you tired of dings, dents, and scrapes ruining the beauty of your beloved vehicle? Look no further than Robards Collision, the ultimate destination for all your auto body needs. At Robards Collision, they've been offering top-notch collision repairs and outstanding customer service. Their team of expert technicians is passionate about bringing your car back to its original glory, no matter the size of damage. Their state-of-the-art facility is equipped with cutting-edge technology, ensuring precise and accurate repairs. They handle it all with precision and care. Timberline Ace Hardware is committed to helping their neighbors and their communities, and because they're in the neighborhood, they can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Stihl, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in store, curbside, or they'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock with people that know how to help. Timberline Ace Hardware, serving the community for over 50 years.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
You'll always find the best deals and expert service at your local Napa Auto Parts store. We offer expert service in helping you find the parts you're looking for your current project, as well as Milwaukee tools. We can also help you with most motorsport, RV, and vehicle battery needs at your local Napa Auto Parts store in Heber City.
Teens report that parents are the #1 influence in their children's lives about decisions to not use alcohol, marijuana, or vape.
Take a few minutes every day to talk to us about things we like to do. Ask about our hopes and dreams, concerns, and fears. This is a time when we need our parents' help the most.
If we feel close to you, we are much more likely to listen. We need you to remind us to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch High School Thrive Club.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP Heber City and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Top of the 5th brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Own what matters with Guild Mortgage. Braxton Fowler will lead it off here in the top of the 5th. Wasatch leading 11-1. 3 outs away from another 10-run rule victory for Wasatch. Already 4-1 on the season, and all 4 wins have not lasted into the 7th inning. Fowler will take strike 1 and now ball 1. 1-1 now the count. 0 for 2 today is Fowler. Flew out to left field and grounded out to the third baseman. Did reach on a walk back in the first. Through 3 innings, gave up 1 run on 5 hits on the mound. Now moving to shortstop. And that one will be in for a strike. New pitcher on the mound here for the Cottonwood Colts. And this is the first varsity outing here for this young man.
Ty, how big of a deal do you think it'll be for this Wasatch team that these teams they're playing are going to be way down in the RPI, right? Ogden, lower classification, not going to win a lot of games.
Cottonwood 7 if this one holds.
Yeah, not going to win a lot of games. Richfield, a couple classifications below you, and Wasatch is handling them well. Will that be that big of a deal when it comes state tournament time?
Might, right? It might, especially if you're vying for one of those buys into the super regional, right?
I wonder a little bit, though. I think Wasatch is in a really competitive league. Tyler, you look at some of these teams that they're going to go up against, like a Spanish Fork, who seems like they found it again all of a sudden this year. Salem Hills always puts a good team up. Maple Mountain is excellent, Tyler. Maybe those teams are going to win enough games that by the time they start playing each other, it'll balance out that winning percentage. And so that's maybe an optimistic view. Even if Wasatch doesn't win all of those games, just the sheer record will start to get balanced out.
7th walk of the game for Cottonwood, and Braxton Fowler finds himself on base for the 2nd time today, both times because of walk. They'll bring up Crew Baxter, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of a couple of strikeouts in his last 2 at-bats. That one misses high for ball 1.
And what's more important, that RPI standing, playing competitive teams, or getting confidence early on.
Baxter a little bit ahead of this one. He's going to flare it off in foul territory. Out of play for strike 1. 1-1 now the count.
I feel like for this team, Tyler, maybe coming back to that question I posed to you, is for the pitching, I think it's been especially important to get wins, get some confidence early on. I think the bats, you felt pretty confident coming in. But you need to have guys on the mound that have confidence in throwing strikes. And so I'm not sure it's a bad thing that Wasatch has had some of these teams that are a little less competitive to get some wins on the board and get some confidence on the mound.
Fowler's going to go on the 1-1 pitch. Will steal second base easily. And that'll move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Ty, correct me, have they adjusted how the RPI treats out of state schools?
I haven't checked this
when
year.
When they first started,
out of state schools were always treated as
underclassmen, right? Or under
a lower division.
Lower classification.
And you got 1 freebie with the lower divisions, Tyler, and so you weren't penalized for 1. But if you say, just to give you some numbers, if you get 1 point for beating a 5A team when you're 5A, if you beat a 4A team and you've already had your freebie, it only counts as .75 towards your winning percentage there. And so if you stack up a lot of wins against lower teams like Ogden and Richfield, or a bunch of teams in San Diego for the spring break one,
exactly.
It actually penalizes you for going to these out-of-state tournaments. Ty, they maybe have changed that rule because a lot of these competitive teams in Utah were going out of state and to play some of these, like a Maple Mountain or a Spanish Fork or Timpanogos, and they were ending up being penalized in the RPI because of it.
It's a 2-2 count here to Baxter's. That one in there for a strike. Runner on second base is Fowler. No outs here in the top of the 5th. Wasatch looking to extend the 11-1 lead. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 Ks now on the day for Baxter, who came in highest batting average on the teams, had himself a rough day at the plate. But it'll bring up Eddie Bluth, who's vying for our Chubby's Cafe Offensive Player of the Day. He's been on base 3 times. He's scored 3 times. He's also 2 for 2 with a single and a double. Throwing a stolen base in there as well. I might as well get an RBI to top off the day for Eddie Bluth.
There's been some good bats today, but I think his last at-bat was the cleanest at-bat of the game, Tyler. That 2-0 double you referenced.
High leg kick delivery, swung on, and just a little ahead of it. And just this change of speed, Ty, a little bit slower, and Wasatch looks to be a little bit ahead of the fastball. That one off the end of the bat foul.
Yeah, that was the move that the U.S. tried in the World Baseball Classic, right? After Paul Skeens went on the mound, pumping fastballs up near 100, then they went submarine thrower at 82 afterwards, and it was effective.
Worked. Problem was not the pitching, in my opinion, in the World Baseball Classic. Only 3 hits in the championship. That's probably not going to get it done very often.
And the World Baseball Classic this year was to the movie Moneyball, to the argument at the end of that, where they won the most games because they played the statistics. But when you get to the playoffs or the tournament, statistics go out the window, right? Because you don't play enough games for it to balance out. And Moneyball came back to get them, even though they had, swing for the fence. It'll weigh out. It didn't. That was the game. They didn't get hits, didn't hit home runs, and end up giving the championship away.
Bluth ahead of that one again, and that one's going to be fouled off into the tennis courts behind us. 1-2 now the count.
It's kind of fun about baseball, Tyler, when you get to the baseball playoffs. So often it's an unsung hero, right? A guy that's maybe been called up a month before, or your 7 or 8, 9 hitter that's not the superstar that gets hot, and they make a difference in the game.
1 ball, 2 strikes, runner on second. Long look at him at second base. Fowler. Big lead, the pitch. And this one's going to be right on it and swung on and fouled down the first base side. Keeps count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck is Sam Pinter, also with a couple of hits on the day-to-day tie. Came with just 2 hits on the season, now has 2 to his name, also an RBI in his last at bat. Pitcher comes set. Fowler, a huge lead at second base. Long look by the pitcher. Now will deliver. Goes upstairs, and Bluth will foul it off into the catcher's glove. Back-to-back strikeouts here, and Wasatch has 2 away. Again, Pinter will now come up to the plate. Has scored twice. Flew out to center field, and then singled up the middle, and then a single on a high chopper through the infield that brought in a run in the last inning. Well, 2 outs. This is when Wasatch scores. So if you haven't been listening, tune in now, because this is usually when you get some action.
Doing a quick scan around the field, Tyler, because it's kind of hit the dog days of the game, right? You've got some of these players in, maybe pitching that don't usually pitch. I think you're seeing that a little bit from Cottonwood. This guy wasn't even on the roster, right, that's on the mound right now. He's done a good job, 2 strikeouts, but looking out at the field, like the first baseman, if you look at how he's standing, the glove is tucked under the right arm. Like it has almost like a Little League movie vibe of like, when do I get my snow cone after this? Like he's not stepping into a pre-pitch, and you kind of have that vibe around here. You want to stay mentally focused if you're Wasatch, right? Every pitch still matters. You want to put up good swings, good at bats, and not give anything away. We've talked about it a lot this game, the idea of a winning culture, right? That you just keep coming at them. It doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter what the count is. That every play, every pitch is worth doing right. Win the pitch every single time you have an opportunity.
2-0 the count. Second baseman trying to keep Fowler close at second. A long look and a late kick delivery. Swung on, and this is going to be a blooper. This one might fall. I think it is going to fall. How about that? Bloop single will bring in a run with 2 outs. So that's the second RBI for Sam Pinter. And yet another run scored for Wasatch with 2 outs.
Yeah, good job from Pinter, Tyler. Finding some grass out there. Both his last hits just had ice, right? They found the area where the hitters weren't. Not incredibly hard hit balls, but they found their way falling in. And good when you have runners in scoring position to just be in play.
He's going to bring up Otis Sweattie, who in his last 7 at-bats is now 6 of 7 with 7 RBIs. He scored twice today. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Good lead from Pinter over at first base.
Yeah, Ty, if I'm doing my math right, Otis in those last 7 at-bats has seen his average jump from 182 to 444 in his last 7 at-bats. That's a guy who's found a little rhythm here.
1-1 the count, 2 away. That one misses in the dirt. Pitcher will come set. Sam will take another half step over at first base. The 1-1. Swung on and fouled down the third base side for strike 2. 1-2 now the count.
Good opportunity for these Wasatch hitters. You mentioned the change of speed, Tyler. That one another rollover, right? Out a little bit early, rolling over. Good conversation from the coaches to emphasize hands inside the baseball. Try to hit something back up the middle so you're not rolling over, getting that barrel head out too far.
And so it was there yesterday against Ogden. Every base knock has been the opposite way for Otis. The 1-2. And he'll wave at that one for strike 3. So Wasatch is retired. They do score 1 run on 1 hit. No errors in the inning. And 1 runner is left on base. 12-1. We'll keep it here for the 5th inning stretch, brought to you by Timberline Ace Hardware. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware. Folks, Ty, throw it over to you for our game summary.
Yeah, how about a 12-1 lead on 13 hits and no errors for Wasatch. Cottonwood 1 run on 5 hits and 1 error on the day. Closer look at this one. Braxton Fowler got the start on the mound for Wasatch. He went 3 innings pitched, faced 13 batters in those 3 innings. 44 total pitches on the day for Braxton. 5 hits scattered, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, no walks, no hit by pitches. And he had a good start. He's in line for the win here today. Tyson Dahl came in relief in the 4th. He's got 1 inning pitch, and he's going to try to shut this thing down in the 5th. Has a 1-run buffer, Tyler, where Wasatch can still get the mercy rule. And we'll see if Dahl can get the finish. As far as at the plate, Tyler, out of those 13 hits for Wasatch, Pinter with 3 plate appearances today and 3 hits on the game. Bluth has a couple hits. Livingston 2 hits on the day. Brown 2 hits. Salmon 2 hits. And Otis Sweat with 2 hits. Your leading RBI player on the game is Austin Brown with 3 RBIs. And then Pinter, Livingston, Salmon, and Sweat each have 2 runs batted in.
Summary brought to you by Haber Appliance. When you're down to your final out and you turn your drop the ball into a touch 'em all at Heber Appliance, Furniture, and Mattress. I'll just take some time here in the middle of the 5th to talk a little bit about our WAS in review. Softball team tie 8-6 on the season, 3-0 in region play. Lost to Uinta in their last game. Their next game is going to be on Tuesday against Salem Hills. Couple of standouts: Briley Smith, 5 home runs, 18 RBIs on the season. Sydney McPhee, 4 home runs with 14 RBIs, and then Chloe Bell on the mound has 35 strikeouts and a 6-5 record. Ty, last year Wasatch had 10 total wins and 3 total region wins. Already have matched their region wins this season and are at 8 wins. First pitch is going to be swung on, elevated to center field, and Austin Brown will make the first out of the inning on the leadoff guy, Griffin.
Well, 1 pitch, 1 out. It's a good start there against the top of the lineup.
More shout-outs on the Wasserman Review site. Ty, boys volleyball 9-1 on the season. Swept Skyline and Lone Peak this past week. They play at Timpview next Tuesday. 38-10 over the last 2 seasons, Ty. This is a sport that's just recently been sanctioned, and Wasatch has jumped on it. Very successful program already, 38-10 over the last 2 seasons, and again 9-1 this season.
One of the reasons they've been so successful, Tyler, is such a good club program before things got going.
This one's going to be swung on, elevated to left field. Eddie Bluth will come underneath it and make the play. 3 pitches, 2 flyouts, and Wasatch is 1 out away from the 10-run victory.
Yeah, and you saw that recently with lacrosse in the same regard, Tyler. Lacrosse had a good, strong club program before. They sanctioned it, and then immediately are one of the top half teams in the state, very competitive. Volleyball even on the next level, Tyler, getting competitive very fast. State finalists last year. They were state champions in the club just a few years ago, and so no surprise that they found success coming into this early portion of the sanctioned volleyball career.
It'll be Stonebreaker. He is 0 for 2 today. Flew out to center field and struck out in his last at bat. He'll take ball 1 and ball 2. The boys lacrosse 4-1 now on the season. Lost their last game to Brighton. They play down in St. George this weekend against 6A Riverton and 4A Snow Canyon. Have outscored their opponents 72-24 so far this season. Standout performers: Isaac Roylance leads the team with 21 points, Ty Griffith with 18 points, and Sam King with 16 points. 3-0 count here to Stonebreaker. See if Tall can come all the way back. The 3-0, and that one's actually going to be swung on the 3-0. It's going to push Austin Brown back, and he'll make the play. And that'll do it. Wasatch will get the 12-1 victory, their 5th straight run rule victory. They now improved to 5-1 on the season, and we're just going to keep it here and head straight into our Timberline Ace Hardware postgame show. Once again, Timberline is the place with helpful hardware, folks. Just had our summary, Ty. We don't need to run the summary back through it, but let's go ahead and just jump into our Ty's trophies. And Ty, who do you like as our standout performers today?
Well, Ty, going through the summary that we just had, there was a leader in hits, right? Sam Pinner led the team with knocks today, 3 hits. I think it was a nice job at the plate there for Sam, but there was a little bit of different kind of quality of barrels, right? I think Eddie Bluth really was on the money today. Tyler Awesome-Brown smoked a couple balls and led the team in RBIs. You mentioned Otis Sweat just continues to stay hot. And so possibly cheating here a little bit, Tyler. I think you give Pinter the nod because he led the team in hits today. But how can you not go to a guy who's 6 out of his last 7 in Otis Sweat? I guess 6 out of his last 8 here, Tyler, after that last one didn't go his way. I mean, Otis is having a really strong campaign here this week. And so you could give a blanket to the entire offense. But one more thought. You know how much I love pitchers. And seeing Braxton get out there looking like his arm's healthy, Tyler, I think that's an important thing in this game as well. So I like what you saw from Fowler on the mound as well today.
Standout performers brought to you by Chubby's Cafe, your neighborhood destination for the food you crave. And Ty, as we close things up, keys to this run Wasatch is going on. 5-1 now on the season, 5 straight wins. What are some keys that you've seen from this Wasatch team that's really helped them get off?
We brought up the stat already, Tyler. It's scoring with 2 outs. Team has now, Tyler, I didn't get the ones after 17. They got at least a couple more. They're pushing nearly 20 runs over the last 2 games with 2 outs. And so this team is really being effective as far as scoring runs when maybe the other team lets their guard down. And it's being done at the bottom half of the lineup. So these guys are coming, they're producing, they're looking for fastballs that they can jump on. They're getting walks, they're finding their way on base. And then they're just kind of burying these inferior teams by scoring with 2 outs. They don't let teams that are not to their level hang around, Tyler. And that's the difference here for this team over the last few weeks.
Keys brought to you by Big O Tires, the team you trust. Keep your vehicle road ready with trusted service from tires and oil changes to brakes and alignments. Big O Tires, total auto care. That'll do it for our broadcast week. Wasatch will be back in play next Tuesday against a really good Pleasant Grove team to kick off region play. Wasatch 5-1 on the season. I want to thank you for listening to Wasatch High School Baseball here on 92.9 The Peak.